Hello there, you have reached Thomas Allen Berg here in San Francisco, California, high atop Cathedral Hill on a beautiful day here, a day before New Year's Eve, before our brand new fresh decade. And I've been noticing that there have been a lot of magazine articles about the last decade, the 2000s, and some of them called it the decade from hell or the worst decade, whatever. And so I went over my decade, the 2000s, and I was amazed, absolutely amazed, at the influence that the Abraham-Hicks teachings had on my entire decade. I had the best decade of my entire life in the 2000s. I met Abraham in 1999 when I was on my way to my first summer in Hawaii. I discovered their first book, A New Beginning, at a bookstore in Sonoma, California. I asked the people who ran the bookstore what was the hottest item in town, and they said, "Oh, look at this. This is a new channeled work called A New Beginning." And so A New Beginning became my passport to deliberate creation in my first full summer in Hawaii. It changed everything because I began to use the principles in Hawaii to manifest new friends and fun and music and just all kinds of wonderful activities, including activities that involved amping up my sexual joys and pleasures in Hawaii, and it all worked great. So I came back and I began to teach the Abraham-Hicks ideas to my 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at APG&E Middle School. I developed a curriculum and assignments around those and began to send them to Jerry and Esther. And so when they came to San Francisco to San Rafael for their workshop, they invited me to have refreshments with them during a break in the workshop. And we talked about doing a collaboration. I was using the Solomon Sarah books with my 6th graders for reading for language arts, and we decided that we would create a open month-long project so my students could ask Solomon, the wise owl, who we all know as Abraham, questions. That book then, that became a little book. I want to show you this. This is what they published. It was never published nationally, but they published this for my class. They did a wonderful job, and it begins with questions from my students. The first question would be from a student named Henry, who says, Solomon, does a positive mind come naturally or do you have to acquire it? And Abraham Solomon answers, you were born with a positive mind, and unless you respond to things and events that happen to you along your physical trail, you will remain positive. You are not different from the beasts of your planet. Look at them and notice how they are always positive, unless provoked by their life experience to be otherwise. You are the same way. It's nice to know that you have the ability to choose to respond to things in a positive, upbeat, appreciative way. It is your truest of desires to remain the positive being that you truly are. And with practice, even the most negative person can return to their most natural status. And then Frank goes on to ask, what is the meaning of life? Got ideas? And Abraham Solomon answers, the basis of your life is absolute freedom. You are so free you could choose bondage. The purpose of your life is joy. Your wonderful guidance system called your emotions help you to choose thoughts that you take there. The result of your life is eternal expansion or growth. The result of your life is eternal expansion or growth. So the best explanation for the meaning of life would be eternally joyous expansion. So that continued during my 2000s, and it developed into my next creative project, which was a series of documentaries with Michael Brewer of Switzerland. The first being a wonderful movie called Rainbow Crossing, Out and About with Brewer and Berg, a multi-dimensional travelogue in which we travel. Oh, here's the original right here. Out and About with Brewer and Berg. in the original, we travel to Italy, and we look for the contributions of gay spirituality in cultures around the world. In fact, right here it says, this is a multidimensional travelogue that will set you free. Come through time and space with Michael and Tom, the new millennium's gay gurus, as they follow their bliss on a real-life vision quest leading all the way to the Vatican, seeking answers to some of the most pressing questions facing society today. Join our gay gurus on this first-of-a-kind hero's adventure as they irreverently surf the leading edge of thought through the archetypal realms of psychology, history, geopolitics, art, sexuality, mythology, and metaphysics, culminating in a transformative confrontation with the Catholic Church in St. Peter's Square, at the Colosseum and atop the Duomo and the Cathedral in Florence. Tom and Michael invite you along as they discover a new mythology, expansive enough to celebrate the extraordinarily important role of gay men and women in the evolution of our species and the cosmos itself. This led to being in a film festival on the Big Island. Then this led to the filming of Rainbow Crossing, which is about the spirituality and the metaphysics and the gay contribution of the triple sex in the Polynesian cultures. Then I was guided to retire from the school system where I taught for almost 35 years to write what I had discovered teaching the Abraham principles in my class, and I wrote Uncle Tom's Classroom, How One Public School Teacher Awakened His Students to the Cosmic Super Self Within. And this is my chronicle of how I helped my students own their individual divinity, their individual uniqueness, and begin to access their super, what I call their super cosmic divine creative powers. I discovered in my teaching in the public school system that this was the missing link. Children are they're coming in so smart, as Abraham was saying, and so unique. They don't want to be controlled by the military industrial complex like the older generations acquiesce so easily to. And they're eager to bring polemics back into the classroom. Polemics was my idea of allowing free and open debate of all kinds of philosophical questions, like why are we here? Where did we come from? Who are we and why are we? Where are we going? I gave my students time each day to discuss those openly and respectfully in my class. And needless to say, it was a total success, which then became this book. This book then was read by one of my great heroes, Shirley MacLaine, the great metaphysical goddess of cutting-edge thought, who has been out there on the leading edge, out on her own limbs for many years now. She read this and invited me on her radio show, Independent Expressions Radio. It's in the archives from the year 2008. We had a wonderful radio show and interview, which then led me to my next book, which is called When Worlds Unite. I am the questioner of 4 spirit entities, the spirit entities being Fletcher, Rose, Orion, and Edgar Casey. And these spiritual entities guide me in searching for the way through these incredible challenges that we face here at the end of the decade, the 2000s. And their answer is when worlds unite, when the spiritual, non-physical world and the physical, human world unite, everything about our lives it's transformed and alchemized, and we become the God men and God women that we really came here to be. And we are able to express our uniqueness, our unique sexuality, our unique spirituality, our unique mentality, our uniqueness in all of its vast parameters. And so I invite you to watch more of my videos. Come to my website at thomasallenberg.com and hear more about what we can do together to wake up using the vortex and some of the principles that Abraham-Hicks has shared with us over the last decade. It's been a great decade, and Happy New Year! Bye!